Welcome back to the Frightflix channel and the Killer Theories review of the Chiller TV original series Slasher. My name's Nate. I am sitting in today as host and co-host. Mike is currently embroiled in creating the new hilarious episode of Roomies. If you're not watching Roomies, go to joeblow.com. Support Mike. Check out his cartoon. Meanwhile, I don't have a cool cartoon to work on. I do this. I'm stuck with the podcasting end of it. And that's cool. So I just finished watching the new episode of Slasher. It's entitled In the Pride of His Face. It is episode 7 of 8. So this was the penultimate episode. I thought it might be a big setup episode for the finale, but they actually paid off a lot in this episode. And we will see how that affects the actual season, possible series finale next week. And honestly, I don't want to go through and recap the entire episode. Let me just hit the high points. Dylan Bennett, Sarah's husband, we knew he was a sneak already. And this week is revealed to us and to Sarah how much of a sneak he is. He's been following the executioner case, the Waterbury murders, for years, long before he ever met Sarah, and he met Sarah as part of his assignment. And then he fell in love with her and married her, and apparently all that is legit, but Sarah can't really see past the initial lie of he hunted her down because of her connection to the murders, and that's how they met. They just didn't meet naturally. Sort of a big deal to her. Chicks. What are you going to do? Little things like that, I guess, really make a big difference. Side note, one of the problems with this week's episode was they spend a lot of time with Dylan, and he's being courted for a new job and a new lady in his life, and this seduction by her of him is just took way too long. Doesn't really seem like it's going anywhere. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it is going somewhere. Next bullet point. Good gore this week. Several kills. Yes, the beginning revisits the very beginning of the very first episode where the night Sarah was born via machete, and it played just as intense, if not a little more intense, the second time around. Really, really gross, good kills, and it wasn't the only good kill of the episode. There was a great death later on, a man jumping onto a moving saw blade, like a circular saw, and it comes out his back and spins blood droplets all over the room. It was pretty tight. Big thumbs up for the blood this weekend. Really seems like this episode, really seems like they're ramping things up on the way out, which is good. Now, the man who was killed in that great death is Tom Winston, Sarah's real father. This episode was super heavy on Tom Winston, giving him a lot of backstory before he dies, as has sort of become the tradition of this show. If they focus on you a lot, pretty much means your number is up. Tom is killed for the sin of pride because, way back when, he was a minister, he was tricked into sleeping with Sarah's mother, only to be blackmailed, and this is what drove him apparently crazy enough to kill them both. Although it only addressed that one night, and I was pretty sure that this show was about the return of the executioner, this previous serial killer, and they haven't touched on any of Tom Winston's other murders. Which is fine if he didn't commit any other murders, but then it's really a cheat to say that the executioner is a returning serial killer. This new executioner, he definitely fits the bill. So yeah, we dig deep on Tom Winston, blah blah blah. not not great, but it really needed to be done. They really needed to fill in some of those blanks. So the executioner has it narrowed down to killing Sarah or Tom for the sin of pride, and Tom pleads his case and begs to die, and then actually jumps on the blade himself in a really cool moment. And Sarah is allowed to leave. And then, ta-da, that's it. That's the seventh deadly sin. Everybody's been punished. Apparently, the executioner is just going to hang up his spurs and leave. To wit, he puts a mannequin out in public with the executioner condom head garb on it, and a note to Sarah with some cryptic biblical shit that means, alright, I'm done, mic drop. But of course that just can't be it, can it? And Sarah says, no, of course not. You know, this killer can't just give up because I'm not giving up. I'm still coming after him. So I guess next week we will have Sarah wrapping up the case to her own satisfaction. Although, as I wrap up this review and move into the most anemic episode of Killer Theories you've heard yet, let me say that the episode does wrap up with the killer being ostensibly revealed. It could be one final red herring. Doesn't really feel like it, though. Feels like a reveal of the killer. The placement of it was really good. It was... it's always good to have your reveal a few minutes before I expect your reveal. So that was good. But I'll discuss that more in Killer Theories here in a minute. Overall, this episode was solid. Most episodes of this series have gotten a 7 out of 10. And this one will continue that trend. 7 out of 10. That may not sound like an amazing score. It isn't an amazing score, but it's a good score. And here's the thing about Slasher. It's on Chiller TV. If you don't have Chiller TV, which I don't, it's also available on Amazon Video. You can get it there. And probably through the iTunes store. I don't know about that, though. This wants to be a real slasher. Unlike Scream, the TV show, which wanted to be a teen drama with slasher elements, and unlike Scream Queens, which wanted to be a meta comedy with slasher elements, this is an actual earnest attempt at making a slasher series, and I totally support it. It may not be the best show on TV, but it delivers what it promises, and if you're into slasher shit, you definitely owe it to yourself to check out this show. 7 out of 10 for me this week. What did you think? Respond to this video or find me on social media at Nateflix. Okay, so next up, Killer Theories. This is where we discuss what evidence is presented this week and who the ultimate killer could be. Well, the end of this episode seemed to reveal that the killer was former officer and now chief of police Cam Henry, who anybody that has listened to this review before will know that I picked as the murderer in the first review of the first episode of this season. He just seemed guilty then, and this has confirmed what I thought all along. It is not, however, set in stone. As you remember, he goes into his room, he talks to his creepy religious dad, who gives him the creepy religious angle for his executioner character. He goes into his closet and he pulls out a little velvet-lined box, obviously a trophy box, in which he has trophies from his different kills. And then he takes out what appears to be a bloody swatch of Tom Winston's shirt, and he puts it in the box. He looks off camera and gets a creepy little half grin on his face, which I thought was a nice touch, and also the visual shorthand way of saying, I am guilty. I'm the dude. That's my read on it, though. It isn't set in stone. We didn't see him take off the mask or anything like that. He was just putting trophies from kills into a trophy box. So he definitely seems guilty. He seemed guilty to me all along, but maybe there's more to it. Is he part of a killing team with his religious father? Is there someone else involved? Too many Scream movies have left me not... I'll actually be a little surprised if there's only one killer. And that'll be a nice surprise, don't get me wrong. But multiple killers is sort of the way to go. So there could be someone else involved. I guess the final episode will involve the killer, being Cam Henry, trying to frame someone else for the murders, because unless Sarah can solve the crime, quote unquote, she's never going to stop investigating. So that could be a nice little ending, to have Dylan Bennett be set up for all the murders. All the pieces are there, and Sarah would believe it. And then he gets sent away, and then Cam can move on with his life and settle down with Sarah, and she'll never know the truth. That sounds like a pretty good ending to me. So we will see how that killer theory plays out. Are you listening? Are you still listening to this? Is there any way that you think it could be somebody other than Cam? And if so, why? And who? Tell me, please. I'd love to hear back from you. And if I don't hear back from you, well, check back 1 week from today, where I will be bringing you the review of the possible series finale of Slasher. Until next time, I'm Nate. Find me on social media at NateFlix or FrightFlix.